former NFL offensive lineman, Fox Sports Radio Weekends, Ephraim Salaam on Twitter. E, what's up, bro?
What up?
What's good, brothers? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Got right to you. Got your whole 10 minutes there, Ephraim.
Good. Give me my time.
There you go. I know.
I'm reclaiming my time.
He always wants his time. That's why I wanted to point it out to you.
All right. Well, Ephraim,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got all the time. Speaking of, just before we got to you, we were talking about LeBron passing the baton to Luka. Do you think that's actually something he's going to do, giving the keys to Luka? He said he is. He said he's embracing this role. Rob says can't teach old dog new tricks.
I mean, he's always used to having the ball, eighth highest usage rate.
So let me explain something to you guys. This had been the plan for the last 2 years, all right? So LeBron James, if you remember how this year started off, he desperately was handing over the keys to the team to Anthony Davis. That's why Anthony Davis came out with those 30-15 games.
Yeah.
Right, first month of the season, it was like, oh, my goodness, this is crazy. But Anthony Davis is not a facilitator. He is not. The ball's not in his hands. You have to bring the ball to Anthony Davis. And so it's kind of hard to – you got to remember, when you're going through the high post and to the post, the game slows down. There's, it's a little bit different. It's not as high energy. But LeBron James was willing to do that because he didn't want to have to burden or shoulder the burden of being the everything. He can't play 38, 40, 42 minutes a game anymore. So he wanted to hand the keys over to Anthony Davis. Obviously, it didn't work out like that. AD got a little nicked up and so on and so forth. But I can promise you he's 100% okay with handing the keys over to Luka, someone who's already a ball-dominant guard, who is a walking triple-double and can light up the scoreboard. He is perfectly okay with that because he knows when he sits down at the 7-minute mark in the first quarter, when he comes back in, the lead isn't going to be depleted. It's going to be increased, or they're going to hold pat on whatever progress they made. That's a huge luxury LeBron really hadn't had the last few years. So knowing the fact that you now have a ball-dominant guard who can facilitate and get everybody involved and now go get his own, essentially that takes the pressure completely off LeBron. And it allows him to rest a little bit longer and not have to, pick up that heavy load when he comes back in the game. So, yeah, I do, Rob, believe that he means that.
Are they going to win the championship? A yes or no answer? Are they going to win it this year?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Why not? Yes.
Okay, I just want to get you on the record. We got that recorded.
We'll be on the record.
Let's go to football. I love to get people on the record on football. Travis Kelce, his general manager for Kansas City, said he expects him to come back and expects him to play next year. He was awful in the Super Bowl. There were plays where he was standing around where action was going on, like just out of it. I don't know. Do you think he should retire or he should come back? I know people always say, I don't want to go out on that note. It could be worse next year. He just didn't look good.
No, he didn't look good, but the offense all year didn't look good. That obviously that wasn't the Kansas City we have been used to seeing, as well as the regular season for them. They had a bunch of miracle games. The fact that they got to 15-1 playing like they were playing. Shout out to Spagnuolo and that defense because they saved them a bunch of times. It just seemed off.
They were lucky. They were lucky a lot last year. They were.
Yeah, and when your left tackle goes down and you got to move your all-pro guard to left tackle, they just were piecemealing their way through the season. Now, what I do know about Kansas City is a well-run organization. From Andy Reid, the Hunt family, it's well-run. So I know they're going to address the needs that they need to address to get better offensively this offseason. And that starts with bringing Travis Kelce back. He knows that. This is not like a dumpster fire. We don't know what's going to happen. No. It's a well-run organization that's steeped in tradition and winning. So I believe that he will come back for one final year. You got to remember, similar to Jason, his brother. Remember, it was like he was talking about it. He came back, played that final year, and then that was his swan song. It's kind of mirroring the same way Jason went out. It's the same way I believe Travis will walk away.
Speaking of tight ends, real quick, I want to just jump on this. Mark Andrews, the general manager for the Ravens, spoke today and sounded like he was saying goodbye. He was saying, well, Mark Andrews is going to be in a Hall of Ring of Honor soon, or at some point,
holla back.
or whatever. But he didn't answer the question straight up about a new contract, I guess, which is what Mark Andrews is looking for. If you're the Ravens, do you move on from him?
I don't move on from him because I know how much he means to Lamar Jackson, right? So when you start making decisions like that, you got to look at the totality of the decision.
Why wouldn't a GM, if that's so obvious, right? I'm just saying, and you ask about him.
I get it, yeah.
I don't understand why a GM wouldn't say, dude, that's our tight end.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get this done. We want him on the team. I mean, like
because
that. Like that doesn't.
You're right, because what he doesn't want to do is walk himself into a lie. Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We don't
know
what that number is for Mark. Right. That number may be way too high.
Then they want to put out. Right. Right.
Right. And then I know they did him likely, and Lamar did find some synergy there when Mark was hurt at the beginning of the year. He's a big tight end who can run routes, who can bulldoze people in the running game. So you may be looking at a situation where likely is going to take that next step. And at the price that Mark maybe wants, I mean, it may not be there, and he doesn't want to come out and say that because they don't know all that information yet.
He is Ephraim Salaam, our guest, former NFL offensive lineman, Fox Sports Radio Weekend. I go to Matthew Stafford, 37 years old, but still played well this year, got them in the postseason. But right now, it's kind of up in the arms what's going to happen with he and the Rams. They want him, but they don't want to maybe pay $50. He deserves.
Well, they told him to go get a deal.
They said go out there, see what you can find. Other teams, 4 or 5 teams interested, could get up to $50 million. What do you make of this? If you're the Rams, are they overthinking it? He's been their guy. If you're Matthew Stafford, do you want to stay for a haircut, or are you trying to go get paid?
Pay that man his money.
Right.
Right, from the movie
Rounders, of course.
Pay that man his money. You don't do that. Don't fall victim to that, because when you look at the landscape of quarterbacks and what they're getting paid, you mean to tell me Matthew Stafford, who was 13 yards away from another possible Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game, and oh, by the way, he won your Super Bowl. He's a dynamic thrower of the football. You mean to tell me you're ready to move on because he wants to be paid what he should be paid?
He's 37. He's banged up. And the numbers, when you look at the numbers, Ephraim, they're not great. They really.
He's 37. He's not 47.
No, I'm just saying there's a reason. And if you remember last year in camp, you remember they had to redo something just to get him to come into camp, if you remember. So this is not new. This was before last. I'm just saying. This was before last season.
There were stretches when Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua were out. Right?
I got that.
There were stretches.
He was 7-11 without them. Right.
Right. Like so that you don't on the landscape when you want to go Aaron Rodgers. Would you take Aaron Rodgers or Matthew Stafford?
I'm just telling.
I'm taking Stafford.
I'm just telling
Would
you.
you take Brock Purdy or Matthew Stafford?
I'm telling you, when a team tells you
Would
to go out and
Dak
find a
Prescott
deal,
or Matthew
they're
Stafford?
ready to move on from you, Ephraim. Yes or no? You don't.
Yeah, of course,
yes,
of course.
But there's a
the
reason.
Was,
what do you think
they?
the reason is? Yeah.
The question is, should they?
I
And
think
the
they
question-
feel
and the
like they
answer to
got
that
their
is
championship.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think absolutely you don't move away from him.
I think he's going to wind up on. He's going to wind up on like a bad team, like the Giants or something like that.
So Matthew Stafford or Sam Darnold?
Matthew Stafford.
What are the options?
It depends on what
as
the
a
cost
GM,
is.
I'm going to weigh my options.
Right.
I would rather pay Matthew Stafford $55 million a year than Sam Darnold $30. What? That's easy.
Is it really? I don't think it's that easy. I think that's why the Rams are doing what they're doing.
I don't know what they're doing.
When you're a GM, I'm just telling you, this has been 2 years in the working.
Yeah, but I'm saying
and
the
even
question is why, though?
Even in last year, because they're tired of his wife, they're tired of a lot of the other stuff that's going on. They
Tired of winning?
No, what do you mean? They didn't win the year before.
He
right?
literally dragged them to the playoffs 2 years ago. Then this past year, people didn't have the greatest expectation to go to the postseason. If it wasn't snowing outside, they might have messed around and went to the NFC
there you go.
game.
The snow didn't stop the Eagles from with the snow. They made it. They won the game.
They didn't look that great. He did have a chance.
He went 4 and out. He had 4 down.
But I guess there's not that many better than him. That's the whole point.
Not at that price. Really not at that price and at that age.
That ain't that bad. That money ain't that much.
Yes, it is.
We just went through the people who made that.
It is. That's why they're not giving it to him.
Hey, guys, this is my time.
This is your time. You go ahead. I'll argue with him later.
I'm sorry, God.
All right? Y'all got 2 more hours to argue with each other, man.
All right, Ephraim. We appreciate
Ephraim Salaam.
Appreciate y'all, man. I can't believe that.
Hey, look, at least we waited to the last 20 seconds of the call. We did good.
We got you in early, and we let you talk. All right.
All right, whatever. Bye.
All right, bye.
Ephraim Salaam. Follow him on Twitter. You too, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, you going to the game?
Nah, I'm not going, man. I'm watching it at home with my boys.
Okay. All right, but I'll see you there. All right.